Hi everyone, my name is Brandy Stokes. I'm with the sales team here at SalesPad. Bob, thanks for having me as a guest speaker to introduce SalesPad. For those of you that are not familiar with the SalesPad product, we are a front-end solution that ties in to GP. We integrate seamlessly into GP, providing users with an end-to-end distribution software solution that assists users with sales order processing, purchase order processing, customer lookup, contact lookup, visibility into inventory, sales document management, and easy sales document entry. So when you're entering quotes, orders, invoices, etc., SalesPad makes all those functions as much easier. GP does a great job at capturing and storing that information, but bringing all that information to the surface and managing it can be a little bit cumbersome for those users that need to access that your customer information on a daily. So a little bit about SalesPad. We've been in the industry or selling through Microsoft partners for a little bit over 10 years. We are based in Grand Rapids, Michigan. How SalesPad came about was one of our owners owns a distribution company that does edge banding for furniture, and they used GP. However, their GP did a great job for the accounting functions, the general ledger, payroll, etc. But for their front office daily business functions such as looking up customer information, entering sales order documents, it was a little bit chunky. So one of our owner hired a developer to write SalesPad, the front-end solution to GP. Therefore, SalesPad was created by GP users for GP users. And just a quick overview of our complete product portfolio. Additional products have been added over time based on customer demand. SalesPad is our core product, and that's the product that we'll be going over in today's session. Data collection is a barcode solution, helping with the picking, packing, and shipping of your inventory items. Ship2 is an integration that sits between GP and UPS and FedEx. It writes sales document information into UPS and FedEx, as well as writes back tracking and freight onto sales order documents as well as to GP. The email add-in works hand-in-hand with SalesPad. It allows users to send emails into SalesPad from their Outlook email application, as well as any tasks scheduled in SalesPad can be pushed to their Outlook calendar, triggering reminders of an event or a to-do item. Card control captures and stores credit card information. It is PADSS certified, bringing you one step closer to PCI compliancy. Inventory control works hand-in-hand with data collection, giving users more control of their inventory items at an item level, so you can set sales restrictions. For instance, you have a client that does not want to order anything from China, you can set a lot restriction or item restriction for particular clients. And SalesPad Mobile is an extension of the SalesPad core desktop product, giving users access to customer information, contacts, inventory, being able to generate orders, have clear visibility into their business process, how many orders are going to ship today, how many are going to ship in the future, all from their mobile application. It's compatible with iOS, iPhones, and iPads, as well as Android devices. You can download a free trial today from iTunes or the Google Play Store. So that's the quick introduction into SalesPad, who we are, how we came about, and our product offering. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into the actual program. Initially, when you log into the screen, this is what the screen looks like. A few housekeeping rules is integration, licensing, and security. SalesPad directly integrates with your GP data, so you don't have to manage two separate databases because we're reading from your existing GP data and we're writing to your GP data. This is basically extending access to your data through SalesPad. We also have real-time integration, so any changes that are made in SalesPad are immediately viewable inside GP and vice versa. And security. Security offered in SalesPad is completely separate from your security in GP. So features and functions you see in today's session can be restricted at a user level or a group level inside SalesPad. At the top are the three pillars of supply chain management that SalesPad accesses. The sales order processing is in the left side and customer lookup information. In the middle is inventory. On the right side is purchase order processing and vendor lookup. Anytime you hover over the different modules, it gives you a quick summary of what that function will perform. You can also access the same modules through the drop-down menu items. Or maybe you want to minimize the ribbon for full screen real estate. You can minimize the ribbon and save your favorite areas to the quick access toolbar. And to do that, you just right click and choose to add that to the quick access toolbar. You can also set your favorite areas to auto start upon launching into SalesPad like I have done. I've got my customer search set to auto start and it's tagged as my favorite, along with the inventory lookup and the sales monitor. All right, let's talk about the search capabilities and the customizable grid. For now, I'm going to do a wide open search, which will display a return on all my customer data and display it in the below grid. We have this 7 searchable fields at the top here. I mainly work with the customer field, as that's going to search for Frank and the customer number, the customer name, contact, email, and address. Let me do a keyboard function so I can highlight exactly where Frank has appeared in the below grid. So that's one search mechanism, but we have multiple search preferences because all users have different preferences on searching for through the customer data. Let me do another wide open search and we'll talk to the auto filter rule. Say we wanted to use this to search for Frank. You can certainly use the auto filter rule to filter down on all contacts with the name of Frank. The first name is Frank. We also support wildcard searches, so if we type in asterisk FRA, it's going to look for Frank in the first name and the last name. You can see right here, Bobby Franks has Frank in the second name. So wildcard searches any part of the text for FRA. So the auto filter row is another method of searching. Another option is the funnel. Say you want to run a promotion for all accounts in Michigan. You can quickly funnel down to all accounts in Michigan and have the information displayed below. And again, you could use a combination of the multiple search methods. Maybe you just want to focus on Grand Rapids, Michigan. You can simply start typing in Grand Rapids and it's going to filter down to all of your customer accounts that are in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So the search capabilities are pretty easy, but it gives users different options and methods to quickly search through your data. Next, I want to talk about the customizable grids. These below grids are the minimum amount of grids or columns I've added to view, but you can certainly add additional user-defined fields to that grid, such as maybe acres of product, and let me go ahead and add the contact birthday. Adding additional fields to your grid below helps with doing search or running sales call lists or being able to display a return based on that additional fields that you've added. Since I've added 2 additional columns, I'm going to do a refresh, so it's going to look for all of my accounts that have acres of product and contact's birthday. Notice how it added those columns to the end of my screen. You can quickly drag and drop those additional added columns in a format that makes most sense to you. So I've got areas, acres of product, customer number, customer name, contact birthday, email, address, phone, city, state, country. So now if I wanted to filter within my additional columns, I can certainly do so by quickly identifying how many of my accounts have 1,200 acres of product by simply using the funnel. And it appears only 3 accounts have 1,200 acres of product. Another neat feature is once you have the column set up in a way that makes most sense to you or for your users, you can export that information to Excel to share with outside sales reps or to give it to your inside sales team to use as a call list. The reason we spend a lot of time on the search capabilities and the grid is because it's a theme that you're going to see throughout the SalesPad application. Anytime you see a grid, you can search within that grid and you can customize that grid to add additional fields or take away fields. Okay, so let's take a deep dive into the customer card. And I'm going to pull up Aaron Fitz. Oh, before we do that, I do want to just bring to your attention that as easy as you've added additional columns you can take away by dragging and drop. Okay, let's dive into the customer card. Initially, when I click on the customer card, you can see the pop-up note that pops open when you're on the customer client card. This is the same note that's the yellow sticky note inside GP Today. advising users of mission critical information. They should be aware of that account as soon as they click on the account. I'm going to hit OK to minimize that note, and I'm just going to pause for a second and let you digest what you're seeing on the screen here, because it's a lot of information that we're bringing to the surface. The way that we display information is one of the main reasons users purchase SalesPad. As mentioned on the previous screen, GP does a great job storing information, but bringing as much of that information to the surface can be a little bit cumbersome, where we take everything you would want to know about your customer and put it on this master screen. And also notice how I have multiple tabs open. Having multiple tabs eliminates the need to toggle in and out of different screens and keeps track of where you've been throughout the program. Up at the upper left-hand corner is typical customer property information, customer number, the customer name, what kind of payment terms, who the sales rep is, when their contract expires, etc. If you hover over the customer number, this gives a quick sales summary hint of a yearly revenue year by year for this particular account. And keep in mind this information can be restricted at a user level, again, through security. The middle section is primary contact information for this account. Anytime you see blue underlined, it's a hyperlink, will allow you to jump out to a web or maybe open up a different tab for additional information. These two are particular, the customer's email address and the customer's website. This section can be customized to include additional user-defined fields, or you can take away some existing user-defined fields and customize the screen a little bit to what makes sense for you. The customization is per user basis based on security. On the right side is quick access to all open sales order documents for my customer. And again, you can filter down. Maybe you just want to view all quotes for your account, and maybe quotes that were issued in August. You can quickly filter down based on those open sales order documents to quickly get to the information or document in question. At the bottom is a deeper dive into this customer account. The contact addresses is just that, all the contacts for this particular account. And if we open up the contact card, you can capture as much information about a particular contact for a particular account by adding additional user-defined fields. We also support the email to, email CC, and email BCC on the customer card. I'm going to close that window and jump back to the customer card. The CRM tab offers light functionality. On the left side are tasks that have been scheduled for this particular account. Red is past due tasks. Black with the line through it are completed tasks, and black are future tasks that are due. If there were any tasks in green, those would be tasks that are due today. You can quickly enter new tasks by clicking New. You can give it a title, and you can assign it a particular contact at that account. You can give it a start and end date. It's kind of backwards. You can identify what type of task it is and the status of that task. And we'll call this new customer call list. You can keep it assigned to you, or you can assign it to different members of your team and provide them with special instructions. Add the note, hit OK, and now we've got a task scheduled for the future. And it's past due, so it was marked in red because it's a past due task. With our email plugin, any of these tasks can be pulled to the email Outlook calendar, triggering the reminder event through the Outlook calendar. On the right side is where users can log new interactions. And again, they can log what type of interaction it is. The neat tool about the customer interactions is you can use the asterisk card or funnel to search within all those customer interactions. So maybe you just want to view all the times you've talked with this particular client about pricing. You can certainly filter down and view just those threads that include pricing. We also this supports emails sent from your Outlook application can be stored inside of SalesPad. So you can just filter down to emails. If you hover over that email, it gives you a synopsis or gives you quick access to the details of that particular email. The Note tab, this is where you schedule or plug in the notes that you want to have automatically pop up. To not have the pop-up of the notes appear, just delete the added notes. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one and hit save. The AR tab allows you to see customer aging for a particular account, how much is due, past due, and the total amount that they have open or to be paid for a particular account. If you click on the balance icon, it allows you to dive in deeper to all those open documents that are making up that $334,000 amount. And if you wanted to click into a particular document, of course, since it's blue underlined, it's a hyperlink, allowing you to quickly open up that document, view the information, maybe reprint it, re-email it to the client, and then jump back to the customer card. Item history, this allows you to view all items that this client has purchased over a period of time. Right now we're looking at 6 months of quotes that are displayed below. Maybe you want to dive in deep to see how many HD40s were purchased over that 6-month period. We can quickly see 9 sales orders, or the HD4 was quoted 9 times for a sum of 41 HD40s at an average cost of $40. We can quickly search on item purchasing history for a particular account. The Sales Document tab has the same functionality. The way that this differs from the Open Sales Document is this is viewing open and historical sales document information. So maybe we just wanted to look at historical invoices for a 12-month period. You can quickly view that information without having to physically go to the file cabinet and pull out each and every one of these 46 documents. User fields. Users have the option to capture in user fields around your business objects. So your customer, your contact, your inventory, your sales order document. User-defined fields can be multiple choice. They can be true or false. They can be drop-down selections, freeform text. You can have it freeform text, or you can have it pointed out to maybe your web or your desktop for maybe a company profile or a company logo. This allows you to just capture more information about your client, as well as you're able to do some reporting on those additional user-defined fields. Sales Graph is a little bit of eye candy for sales managers, giving them a visual representation of performance for a client. All right, and we also support default doc items and special pricing. Real quick, I just want to show that the vendor or the purchase order capability has the same search functionality where you can search on vendors in your database, as well as generate quick purchase orders under a vendor account and dive in deeper to a vendor, or dive in deeper at a vendor level. And I want to touch real quickly on the inventory lookup. If we wanted to search on particular items in the inventory, we have the same search functionality as well and same customizable grid. Right now we're looking at the HD40, and we can see the HD40 highlighted here, and this is giving us on hand, available, allocated, backordered across all locations. So we can see very quickly that there's 24,722 HD40s on hand. Since this is a grid, you are able to add additional columns. Maybe we wanted to add extended description or generic description or additional information about our inventory item. We can certainly add that to the grid. Below, if you're working with multiple locations, or maybe you have a super large warehouse and you have an east warehouse, north warehouse, south warehouse, this will allow you to view the availability of the HD40 per location. Again, what's on hand, what's allocated, what's back ordered per location. And on the right side is per location at a bin level, what type of quantities you have available for the HD40. What's on hand, what's on back ordered, what's been allocated. Item properties allow you to view and capture property information around the HD40. This is where you set reorder points and also see current cost, standard cost, and what price level that particular item is at. Item sales and item purchases tab are very similar to what we saw on the customer card, but at an item level. The item sales are who we've sold this HD40 to, which of our customers have purchased the HD40. Item purchases, same information over a period of time. We can see who we purchased the HD40 from, what vendor. We can also capture notes around the HD40 and supported user-defined fields around our HD40. We can add as much information we want about our HD40 or inventory item and capture that information on the item user field. What makes the user fields really powerful is then you can report on that user-defined field information added. Up until now, we've been looking at a lot of the basic functionality inside SalesPad, but the next two features that you see are unique to SalesPad. And this is the workflow and sales monitor. Workflow is basically the sales document management. What I mean is from the time that an order is quoted, turned into an order, credit card information captured, and shipped. The workflow automates the processing or the funneling of that sales order document through those different processes. So on the left side of the screen, what we're looking at here is our sales monitor. This is a great visualization of how workflow is set up. Everybody has their different batches or queues, the different areas that a sales order filters through once it's been entered into the system. Right now we are looking on, let me do a quick refresh, 92 back-ordered items. On the left side are all our different queues that an order goes through as it's being processed in the business cycle or the sales order cycle. And I have highlighted the back order queue, which contains 92 sales order documents that are currently in back order, totaling $219,000. On the right is a quick access to any of those 92 documents. So for instance, if we have a particular client, let's say Aaron Fitz, we want to filter down into, had an order from August, and he has questions on that order, or maybe he wants to receive approval, or maybe we need to special order that item, we can quickly jump into an Aaron Fitz account from an Aaron Fitz sales order from August to quickly view that information or override any holds to allow that order to move to the next process. So a lot of business managers, customer service managers, sales managers, presidents like the sales monitor because it's clear visibility into the inventory, what's being shipped this month, what's going to be shipped in the future, what's on quote, what's in the pipeline, so on and so forth. And through the workflow, we have the capability of supporting order splitting. So if your company functions that you ship what you have in inventory and you put an order in back order for any orders that's waiting product, we support the splitting of sales documents. So you can turn one document into two, so you can go ahead and ship what you have in stock and have what's in back order sit until that those items arrive. All right. So far we've covered what the customer card looks like, how to look up inventory, how to look up vendors to generate a purchase order, and the sales monitor, which is clear visibility into your business, knowing exactly how many orders are being processed at any given time and what particular batch those orders are sitting in. Next, we're going to go through an actual sales order generation from the customer card. So I'm going to close all my windows except for my customer card. At the top of my customer card, I didn't show this to you before, but these are our different sales order documents that you can generate from the customer card. There's many different options, and you can have these labeled in a way that makes sense to you. I'm going to go ahead and generate a distribution order. Standard customer information or customer properties are pulled at the top. I'm going to allow GP to pull my next available customer PO and automatically plug that in here. If your orders or your sales orders have to be assigned to maybe a technician for approval or for follow-up, you can add user-defined fields to capture that information here. Default shipping address is automatically filled in on the sales document. and this is currently in our pending order batch. And you will notice on the right here, as I add line items to our sales order document, you can have a cheat or a sneak into the gross margin dollar and percentage that's going to be added to the sales order document. So let's add a couple of items here. I'm going to add a HD40 and a quantity of 2. And I want to add a comment, add a line item level. And let's add a HD60. We want 2 of those. And you can add a freeform comments, or maybe you have a standard comment you add at the line item level. We can quickly add that information. And let's add HD20. And we're going to order a special item just to let you know that we do support inventory and non-inventory items. All right, so let's hit save because we've added our sales order items, and I want to make sure to save this order. And it automatically generated order D6862. So say I'm looking at our order, I present it to the client for approval, and they're kind of complaining about the dollar amount, there's a discount. I'm going to make that discount go away. So they're kind of arguing about the $286.93. We have a plugin called the profitability tool. Maybe, we are making a little bit too much profit. 79% gross margin on this order is kind of a lot. Maybe we just want to drop it down to 70%. This allows us to do what if scenarios on the sales line items before changing the sales order document. Maybe we like how the 70% gross margin looks. If we hit OK, it's going to automatically populate the sales line items below to update per line item that 70% gross margin dollar. And I notice this is missing cost and price. Okay, let's hit save. And if we go to the audit tab, this allows you to keep track of any time a line item has changes made to it. There's an audit trail with a user ID, time, and date stamp tracking all those changes. We also support customer comments at a sales document line item level, or you can add internal notes. So maybe you have a note for the different departments that are going to process the order that you want to have access to. Special packaging, plus include coupon off next to order. So that way the next user who's going to touch this order can quickly view this special note. We also support quickly being able to change the ship to or the bill to address from this tab. And the ability to add or remove holds can be possible through SalesPad. Here's the user-defined fields which could be added around a sales document. And we'll talk about the other tabs in just a moment. Since we had a non-inventory item, notice that the purchase button just popped open. And this is because we need to order the special item 123 in order to complete the sales order processing of this particular document D6862. So let's click the purchase button. And yes, we do want to save changes. This is going to allow us to, just a moment here, since it's a non-inventory item, I do need to select which vendor I'm going to purchase this special item 123 from. So let's save and purchase. And now we want to go ahead and generate a PO for our special item 123. Again, I'm going to let the purchase order automatically pull from the next available purchase order number inside GP. You have the option to ship to your location, or maybe you want to drop ship to the client. The program certainly supports drop shipments. Or quick address changes again. Maybe the address, ship to address has changed. You can quickly select the different addresses on the addresses tab in the purchase order if you were to do a drop shipment. I'm going to hit save, and this generates purchase order D6862-4. Hit close, and let's go ahead and release our order. I have it SalesPad set up so that the order confirmation screen automatically pops open, but you can have the order confirmation email or document automatically fax, email, or print to your end user using our smart printing capabilities inside SalesPad. But for purposes of showing the functionality, I have it set to automatically pop open. I'm going to hit close, and this is letting me know that the D6862 contains a special order item, and it's going to move our item to back order. So if we jump back into the customer card and look for the D6862, we can see that it contains a back order item. Another place, remember, the sales monitor is a quick way to view this document. And if we hit refresh, we can see it jump from 92 to 93. Say we received our special item 123 in. We can go to the hold and delete the hold and release that document to the next batch. And one more time, we're going to go ahead and release our document, which is going to move to the ready to pick queue. So if you have a warehouse or shipping department, you can have this document automatically set up to sit in the ready to pick queue, triggering a message or for the warehouse manager or the picking personnel to look into their system, and then you now can see that D6862 is ready to be picked and fulfilled. So really simple. You can generate sales order documents and create purchase orders for sales line items that need either purchasing due that are out of stock or they're not in inventory. The Purchases tab allows me to quickly view the purchase orders that have been created for the sales line item and related documents. So if this generated or this originated from a quote, we can see the paper trail or electronic trail from the time that it was quoted, turned into an order, and once an invoice is generated, that's all stored underneath the sales document line item level for quick visibility. All right, so that's where the quick generation of a sales order and purchase order from a sales order, so the SOP to POP supported functionality inside SalesPad. Last but not least is the reporting capabilities inside of SalesPad. Quick reports are basically data grabs on that we develop for you during implementation using a cool tool called DevExpress. So for instance, if you wanted a quick report on the top 10 customers year to date, we could definitely generate that report for you, and this is going to be changing over time. So it's a live data grab, and it displays it in this below customizable grid in which you could search in. Or maybe you want to look at items returned by customer. You can, again, look in specific items that have been returned and by what customer, and do some reporting capabilities within the quick report. Another neat report is the pivot grid. Say you want to do year-by-year analysis from September 2010 to September 2011. This would be a quick way to do a quick sales analysis on posted GP sales info. So here we're looking at by sales rep, by customer, a year-by-year comparison. So from 2010 to 2011 and 2011 to 2012, we can quickly view sales by rep, by customer. So maybe you want to find out what is Sandra doing to be successful, whereas Gary is not. Maybe we can get some advice from Sandra to help boost Gary's sales. And it's a pivot grid, so it can be easily customizable. Maybe you want to do by rep, by customer, and then by item. You can certainly break it down further. And as easy as I drag those columns, I can take away. So that was basically all the features, the very high-level features and functionality that I wanted to present in today's SalesPad session. Just to refresh, we went over the customer search capabilities and the customer card, where it's a deeper dive, bringing as much information about your client to the surface that you want to view. in a single screen. We also went through inventory visibility. I did want to point out to your attention that there is visibility at the sales line item level for the HD40. We can quickly view right here what's available, what's on hand. So a lot of visibility into inventory using SalesPad. The capability of being able to search on your vendor as well as create a purchase order either by a standalone purchase order or during the sales order process. We also have sales monitor and sales management sales document management, which is ensuring a document moves through a set process that you have identified during implementation, and SalesPad supports reporting functionality. So if there's additional questions, feel free to reach out to Bob Callanan at Business Ready Solutions. He would be happy to answer any questions, or you may certainly reach out to myself. My contact information is on the screen. I do appreciate everyone's attention, and Bob, thanks for having me. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.